When Dr. Ron Weiss's father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and given only a few months to live, he quit his job as an LA ER doc and went to be with his father. He also searched frantically for anything that would help his dad, and what he found was that a plant-based diet did help his father. Dr. Ron Weiss joins us now. So after your dad passed, you put him, before he died rather, you put him on a plant-based diet, and he ended up actually living another year and a half and was energetic much of the time. What was his diet like?
Well, he had what would be considered by many standards, by many people, a quite severely restricted diet. Even by my standards today, it would be very severely restricted. And it basically consisted of a couple of grains, including brown rice, buckwheat, a lot of dark greens, such as cruciferous greens like kale, collards, broccoli, some beans, seaweed, the allium family of plants, the onions and garlic, and maybe some root vegetables like carrots. It specifically excluded nightshade vegetables, all of them, and it excluded wheat, and it excluded any foods that came from animals, of animal source, and it excluded all fruits.
What is a plant-based diet?
Vegetables, fruits, legumes such as lentils and beans, the seeds and nuts, starches, whether they be whole grains or starchy roots. That basically encompasses the entire plant world of eating. And it's not only eating those foods in their unprocessed, unextracted state, but it's also the avoidance of foods that come from animal sources.
Now, have you seen that type of diet help other patients with cancer?
Anecdotally, I have met people who have had widely metastatic cancers of different sorts, including renal cell carcinoma, including endometrial cancer, including breast cancer. I have not taken care of these patients, and I have not placed them on a plant-based whole foods diet, but I have met them, I know of them, and I know that they were adhering to such a plan.
Well, your medical practice revolves around a plant-based diet and treating your patients with a plant-based diet. Why? What evidence do you have that that type of a diet makes one healthier?
Oh, that's a good question. The evidence I have is from two sources. The first source is the vast trove of evidence, medical evidence, that exists across the broad spectrum of chronic medical illnesses, that such a diet is generally vastly more powerful than drugs in dealing with these illnesses. And the second evidence that I have is personal. It's when I treat patients who come in on medications, attempting to treat these chronic illnesses, and when they decide to transform and change their lives with a plant-based diet, these illnesses are reversible to a great degree, and sometimes, a lot of the times, curable.
And you're also talking about disease prevention as well as treatment, right?
Oh, sure. That's of course goes without saying that if someone with a chronic illness can be helped and the disease can be reversed with the food is, very powerful in preventing the disease from occurring in the first place.
Dr. Ron Weiss, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.